Welcome. This is InspireYourBestLife.com. We're here in session 6 and we're with the workshop. I'm going to introduce Valley Anderson, who's going to kick it off for us. Valley?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Valley Anderson. Welcome to Season 6 workshop for Inspire Your Best Life with Dr. Surajit Khanna. Dr. Khanna will take you on a journey helping you plot a path for success to reach your own summit. He is also an attorney, a child safety advocate, a servant to the underserved, as well as the champion of returningyouth.com. I would like to introduce my co-host, Priya Saini, who will be sharing more information at the end of the discussion. This week's theme was the journey to success. Day 1, Dr. Khanna talked about stepping stones. Day 2 focused on failures equaling to success. And Day 3 discussed how there is a new opportunity in each day. Today is a review of all episodes for this week. And during today's workshop, Dr. Khanna will give his perspective. Coming out, Dr. Khanna.
Good morning, Valley. Good morning, Priya. And good morning, Gary. Thanks for joining or hosting this wonderful workshop. Let's keep it simple today because the topic was the journey to success. So that means I have to jump in the car, go to the airport, and then take a flight to my destination, which is called success, right? So let us all go through that channel. Like we did cover 3 things this week. One was stepping stones, second one failure versus success, and last but not the least, we spoke about another day, another opportunity. As we all know that this purpose of this workshop is to have an interactive session so that the audience or the participants, they can understand and see from different perspectives, not only from my perspective. At the end, we're going to wrap up and talk about my perspective, but initially, I would like to have the participants chip in based on how we can see this journey to success works. Well, let's talk about Valley. What was your main goal in life in terms of career? What would you like to see yourself in next 1 year, 2 years, and if I may go a little far, in 5 years?
Well, I still have a few years left of schooling, so I hope I just continue pursuing my radiology degree. And then in 5 years from time, I hope I am like in a hospital working as a radiologist or even a sonographer. Haven't really decided which one yet, but keeping my options open.
Okay. Well, what are the steps did you take, are taking in order to do the radiology or sonography?
Right. So initially, I started with getting a certification in phlebotomy. I used that as my first stepping stone. And then it really helped me figure out that I actually do want to pursue something in the medical world. And so I'm just keep building up from there.
So when you started, so your goal one was to finish your certification. So you were successful because you did finish that. So during that phase, did you go through any hurdles? Did you had any failures?
Not really, no. It was a pretty simple certification. It was just like 6 or like 4 months or something. So I didn't have a hard time with it at all.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. So then once you're done with that, then you started jumping into your degree, which is going to take at least few years, right? 2 to 3 years?
Actually, I took a year off or almost a year off before I went back to college. I Started trying to get a job as a phlebotomist for a while, but there wasn't many opportunities in our area. So that's when I decided to go back into something more with more availabilities.
Okay. So now your goal is to be a radiologist. Let's pick up that. Let's say that's your goal. So did you plan out your month, quarter, yearly, all these things? Did you plan it out already or no?
No.
Okay. So what are the steps do you think you will be taking in order to plan those things?
Well, I just continually think about what I want to take in the next semester, and I start preparing myself for those, whether I start studying that subject a few weeks early, just because with my TBI, it takes me a little bit longer to catch on to information than most. So that's kind of something I do.
Okay. So you are taking steps. You're taking some, I won't say stepping stones, but you're taking some steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, to finish every semesters, right? And I'm sure while you are going through the semesters, you are definitely having ups and downs with your studies, with your grades. So there is some things that always you fight for, either failure or success. But again, from the failure, you improve yourself so that you can have a better grade, you can have better result at the end of the semester in order to get an A, right?
For sure, it definitely makes you want to be better and try harder and study longer if you do get
Absolutely.
that grade.
So what do you think the important things in order for you to climb that ladder? Let's say we take from step 1 is semester 1, if that's how we take. So what are the steps, or what are the important points you can take from there, which to climb that ladder to finish the semester, whatever you are in right now?
Well, I would just make sure you get familiar with your peers, like start a little study group session, even if it's on Zoom now because of COVID. And then just keeping a good planner, knowing when things are due and whatnot.
Priya, you heard what Valley is going through in her semester, and with the group discussion or whatever she's doing in order to have a better grade. So what kind of suggestion would you give to Valley so that the struggles she faces within the teamwork, so that she learn from the failure or learn from the mistakes and proceed on? The reason I'm putting this on you, because you already graduated from college. You are in you already been a graduate already from grad school too. So what suggestion would you like to give to Valley so that she overcome that hurdles?
Teamwork can be a very tricky thing. You're not always going to have equal participation from everybody. Not everybody's going to be pulling their weight sometimes, but I think if you take it upon yourself to, let's say that you're in a study group and each person is going to cover a chapter. I think that it's a good idea to, it should be an expectation that, okay, everybody's going to cover all those chapters, but each person's going to be an expert on the chapter that they were assigned. And as I mentioned, not everybody's going to do, put in the same amount of effort as the other person. So you should come prepared ahead of time and come in to approach the study session as if, you're going to be the expert and you should be knowledgeable about all the other chapters. And maybe if somebody's struggling with something, you can help them. And I think, yeah, as you do more study groups, you kind of gain more experience and kind of learn to work your way around how to navigate them. But then you're going to have times where you're not going to be able to have a study group. So it's important not to be reliant on them. I think the key to having like academic success is being organized. Don't say everything till the last minute. And try to do spaced repetitions of the things that you're trying to learn. So try to go over things briefly. Let's say you have a test for 5 chapters. So it's a good idea to try to study all those chapters, within the first 2 days. And then from there, you could just do small, like review sessions of each chapter after that, like every day, and reinforce that knowledge. I think spaced repetition and reinforcement of that knowledge is important.
Very good point, Priya. Those are very nice tips. I'm sure somebody is writing down those tips so that when we can summarize the session, we'll go over what are the steps does someone like Valley would be taking. Valley, the other point I would like you to kind of bring it up and start talking about it, either with us or with Priya. How are you going to handle the last thing which we discussed yesterday was another day and another opportunity? How do you see that? Forget about your career in this side, but in your personal life, you need to take that in order for you to success in the career as well. So how do you like to describe that from your perspective?
Well, I make sure to just wake up with a fresh mindset. I want to go into each day feeling, powerful and ready to take on the day. So that's one of my important things, is just to make sure my mind is fresh in the morning.
Okay, so that's more like a fresh start with fresh mind. Whatever happened in yesterday, that's just learn from that. Don't make a mistake. Move forward. Right? Is that how you do? Would you suggest, Priya?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, that was spot on. Like there's no real use, and it doesn't do you any good to, like keep thinking about, your past mistakes. You have to just learn from them and move on and use it as a lesson to make further improvements in your journey.
Excellent. I'm going to kind of point out to Gary a little bit because he's a Columbia graduate and he definitely went through some of the hurdles while preparing some of the projects or assignments, or even doing some test quizzes. What was your way of thinking of another day and another opportunity, Gary?
Well, that's a really important question for me because I had the unique opportunity of being invited for free to attend the executive program at Columbia. The executive program is a program that has top executives attended. For instance, we had the CEO of Lifetime Television in our class. We had the president of a division of Seagram's, and we had other people like myself. These programs were designed only for executives, and but I continue to ask, well, why not let me go? Why not let me go? And finally, because I was taking one step at a time, I kept on getting no, no, no. It's not you're not qualified. You're not a high enough level. And then finally, what my division manager says, well, why don't we just let this guy go? He keeps on asking. So my journey to success to get my MBA was by taking little steps. I had many failures, but eventually another day, another opportunity came with somebody else. This wonderful woman, vice president, decided to give me a chance.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for congratulations for achieving that success. Since we are bringing up this word congratulations, I think Valley and Priya, don't you think it is very important that every milestone you cross, you got to congratulate yourself, you got to motivate yourself by celebrating those achievements? Question.
Yeah. I think for me, especially when like I went through phases of like struggling with a class, there was a point where I was doing poorly just because of everything, externally happening around me, and it was just a lot for me to handle. And I ended up retaking that class, and I was getting the top scores in the whole class. Like I was getting nothing below like 95s on each exam. And I think going from that failure to success was one of the most like rewarding things. And even to this day, I still like go back to that experience and like derive motivation from it. And yeah, I just think, yeah, it's very important to celebrate your successes because it kind of, it gives you a taste for, what it's going to be like for when you reach your end goal. So yeah, the same.
Thank you. That is exactly very important to celebrate the success, not only at the time of graduation, but all the small steps you need to celebrate the success. Just like how we were talking right now with Valley, who said that, okay, she took a certification course and then she went into the degree course, which she's doing right now from semester to semester. But within the semesters, she has different modules, or she has different courses which she needs to take a small steps in order to success. And because measuring success is very important thing in this particular workshop, which we are discussing about journey to success. How do you measure the success? Measuring success is not at the end of the your career, you get a degree. That's the measuring success. Well, how do you measure that you will be successful to get that particular degree? So all the different steps you need to do, and you need to understand that every step you take, one step you take forward, there definitely will be 10 steps backward, because that is the nature of the system. Because it will never be a full, protected system that you will just keep on walking, and hit the success door. No, you will be. Life is full of challenges. Just like how we never expected when we started 2020, but right around February time frame, we see the challenges coming in, and we didn't know that the COVID-19 is going to go beyond 3 months. When it started the 4th month, oh my God, what's happening? Then it crossed 6 months. Oh my God, okay, it will be over. Then it crossed 9 months, still not over. It's almost a year now, still not over. Okay, so how do we measure those success or failures in order to finally be successful? So I want to wrap it up by taking some of your tips. Valley, Priya, and Gary, why don't you give your last tips on this particular episode, which we did from the day one, from Monday through today, about the journey to success? What tips could you like to give it or share with your with the audience and with the young adults? Valley.
Oh, well, yeah, I just would like to emphasize to definitely pat yourself on the back with each success, minor or whatnot. Just make sure to keep motivating yourself, because like Priya said, you can't rely on others to help you achieve your goal. And so you must stay focused.
Priya?
Yeah, I would say, don't get caught up on your failures. Just recognize that failures, everybody goes through it, and you're always gonna, I think in life you're always going through cycles of, different emotion and failures and successes, and you just have to recognize that, okay, this is just a fleeting moment in my life, and how can I use this challenge to improve myself?
Gary?
I would just say that the stepping stones to success aligned with the failures that did not stop you from your goal.
Excellent. I think these summarization were very nice. And from my perspective, journey to success is depending upon how well you handle and manage all the steps that you failed, because that only will give you the beauty and the test of the success. Again, thank you very much for tuning in, listening to this wonderful episode, Journey to Success.
Thank you, everybody, for the live workshop. I'm Priya Saini, and I would like to thank you for tuning into today's discussion and hearing about the journey to success. We hope you were able to take something away from today's session and are a little closer to finding your own personal summit. Stay tuned for next week, where Dr. Khanna will discuss positivity. Please make sure to visit Dr. Khanna's website, returningyouth.com, to hear more about the most recent initiative that has been launched for post-incarcerated young adults. You can also view the past training videos for this series at inspireyourbestlife.com. In addition, please don't hesitate to reach out for any questions, concerns, or comments at contactk.com. Thank you and have an amazing day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.